Out now! Things are buzzing behind the scenes for the Baltimore Ravens, and I have to admit that this news has me excited, my friends. I need to talk about something that happens with Lamar Jackson later, and I'll tell you all about it in this roundup of news. But before I go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Baltimore Ravens fan for over 15 years. The focus of the news today is on a big player. Yes, Davante Adams. We've all been waiting, wondering and speculating, where will he land? Could this be the week we finally find out? According to Sports Illustrated, the Ravens are still very much in the mix, along with the New York Jets, New Orleans Saints, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are the favorites right now to land Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. And I have to say, I'm excited that we're still in the conversation. It's a crowded field, but having our Ravens mentioned as a top contender is a good sign. But here's where things get interesting. A new contender could be joining the race for Adams, and this team has a big need at wide receiver, none other than the Buffalo Bills. After their rough Week 5 loss to the Houston Texans, where Josh Allen struggled without his main guy Khalil Shakir, rumors started flying. Could the Bills make a move for Adams? ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Buffalo is monitoring the situation closely, and they might just throw their hat into the ring. The Bills are hurting for a star receiver to pair with Allen, so don't be surprised if they make a play for him. Now, here's where things get even more complicated for us Ravens fans. Lamar Jackson has been lighting it up without a true star wide receiver for years now. We've all seen what he's capable of without that extra firepower. Yet wouldn't it be something to see him with a guy like Davante Adams? We've heard some Ravens fans say, "We don't need Adams, we're good with what we have." But come on now, why not aim for greatness? Adams would open up the offense in ways we haven't seen before, and it could make life easier for everyone, especially Lamar. Think about it. Lamar's been the leading rusher on this team for the past 4 or 5 seasons. He's carrying a huge load, and while Derrick Henry has taken some of that pressure off recently, adding a star wide receiver could really balance out the attack. You give Lamar a guy like Adams, and defenses won't know what hit them. And let's be real, Lamar's already accomplished so much without a top-tier receiver. He's won 2 MVPs, second only to Patrick Mahomes in wins since 2018. Mahomes had Tyreek Hill, one of the best wide receivers in the game. So just imagine what Lamar could do with someone like Adams by his side. But here's the curve ball. According to NFL Network's Peter Schrager, there's buzz that the Ravens might not be as interested in Adams as we think. He reported that Baltimore could be staying out of the Adams sweepstakes. Now, before y'all start throwing your hands up in frustration, keep this in mind. NFL teams often play their cards close to the chest. Just because they're quiet about Adams doesn't mean they aren't working behind the scenes. You never know. The Ravens could be making a move and keeping it under wraps. That's how this business works. One more thing to consider: the other teams involved. The Jets are coming off a tough loss, and while Aaron Rodgers might make New York an attractive landing spot for Adams, their dysfunction right now could turn him off. The Saints are dealing with Derek Carr's injury, and if Adams wants to go somewhere with a stable quarterback situation, New Orleans might not be the best fit. As for the Steelers, well, they're always in the mix, but do we really think Adams wants to go there? With all this swirling around, the Ravens brought back Pepe Williams to the practice squad, which has fans speculating about Marlon Humphrey's health. Could this mean Marlon's injury is worse than we thought? Only time will tell, but it's worth keeping an eye on as we move forward. So here's my question for you, Ravens flock. Should we go all in on Davante Adams? Is he the missing piece that can take this offense to the next level, or are we good with what we've got? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I want to know how you're feeling about this. Should the Ravens make a big move, or should they stand pat? Now let's talk about our star. Once again, Lamar Jackson is making headlines, but But this time, it's not just for his electrifying performances on the field. For the 11th time in his career, our very own Lamar has been named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Man, I'm so happy. He deserves all the recognition. Leave your congrats to Jackson below. Now let's put this in perspective. Lamar winning his 11th Offensive Player of the Week award is no small feat, folks. This isn't just any old trophy. It's a sign of sustained greatness. When you hear Lamar's name in the same breath as guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees in terms of these weekly honors, you know we're witnessing something special. And check this out. This latest award puts Lamar ahead of none other than Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes, who's got 10 of these under his belt. Yeah, you heard that right. Jackson now leads Mahomes in Player of the Week honors. Not bad for a quarterback who, remember, a lot of critics said wouldn't last in this league. And get this. Just a couple of weeks ago, our big man in the backfield, Derrick Henry, took home this same award after bulldozing the Buffalo Bills for 199 rushing yards and 2 total touchdowns in Week 4. So, in back-to-back weeks, the Ravens offense is showing the entire NFL why they're a force to be reckoned with. One week, it's Henry steamrolling defenses, and the next, it's Lamar lighting them up. Talk about balance. The Ravens offense has never looked more dangerous.
Now, let's dig into some history. Lamar's latest win now ranks him second all-time in Ravens history for Player of the Week honors. Who's ahead of him, you ask? The legend himself, Justin Tucker. Tucker has 12 of these under his belt, and I think we all remember some of those iconic moments. Whether it's the 66-yard game winner against the Lions or his clutch playoff kicks, Tucker is in a league of his own. But Lamar is coming for him, and something tells me it's only a matter of time before number 8 takes over that top spot in franchise history. Here's a quick rundown of the Ravens' all-time Player of the Week leaders. Justin Tucker sits at 12, Lamar at 11, and then you've got Ray Lewis with 8, Ed Reed with 5, 4 on defense, 1 on special teams, Terrell Suggs and Ray Rice each with 5, and Joe Flacco with 3. That's some elite company for Lamar to be in. But we know he's got his sights set on bigger things. But how does Lamar stack up against the rest of the league? Right now, Buffalo's Josh Allen has 13 of these awards, so he's still 2 ahead of Lamar. To break into the NFL's top 40 for most Player of the Week honors, Lamar will need 2 more to tie with Allen and some other legends like Daunte Culpepper, Donovan McNabb, Julius Peppers, Bruce Smith, and yes, our former kicker Matt Stover. It's crazy to think Lamar's already chasing down these names, but with the way he's playing this season, I wouldn't be surprised if he passes Allen before the year's over. What makes this even sweeter is how Lamar continues to silence the doubters. Every time someone questions his ability as a quarterback, he responds on the field. And it's not just his athleticism, it's his leadership, his decision-making, and his constant drive to improve. This season, Lamar's been looking sharper than ever, and his chemistry with the rest of the offense is reaching new heights. Whether it's through the air or on the ground, Lamar is showing everyone why he's one of the most dangerous players in the league. But enough from me, Ravens flock. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Lamar on track to surpass all the legends we just talked about? How far can he go in his career, and will he lead this team back to the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, let's keep this conversation going. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of these updates. Go Ravens!